Hello, stamping friends. It's Angie here with TooCoolStamping.com, and we're here with our live weekly class. We do this every Thursday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, and I hope that you can join us each week or anytime you can. And if you can't make it to the live, you can always watch the replay at TooCoolStamping.com or on my Too Cool Stamping YouTube channel. Okay, so today I'm super excited. We're kind of doing a series this week. It's like Dino Days. And we are featuring the Dino Days stamp set. We're featuring the Dinoroar Designer Series paper, the Dino Dies, all of the products in the Dinoroar suite. So I'm really excited about this. If you know me, you know I don't do a lot of whimsical kids cards, but I'm always in need of them because I don't do them very much. Well, when I saw this stamp set and this whole suite and how versatile it is, I thought for sure I needed to get that, because all of the cards are going to come together really quickly. And so I totally wanted to play with that, and I've had so much fun. And I'm not the only person who's had fun doing it. I might have mentioned before that I was in several swaps earlier, a couple months ago. When the new catalog first came out, I was in several. And many of the swaps I received were from the Dinoroar suite. So lots of people are loving this whole series, and I know there's a lot of dinosaur fans out there. So I wanted to do a special little thing with that. I wanted to kind of feature some of those swap cards all week. If you go back to my TooCoolStamping.com blog posts for this week, I had one day where I had Friendosaurus cards. So here was one of them. It's backwards, so I apologize, but you can see everything on my Too Cool Stamping page, TooCoolStamping.com page. That one was from Megan Hurst. This one, I love that pterodactyl, so cute. You can get all the details. This one's from Sherry Uchiyama. And then I also, yesterday I believe, I did a blog post about this one from Lynn Feldkamp. So cute, quick and simple. And also this one from Tammy Nelson. So you can find those at TooCoolStamping.com. I'm going to show you a couple of new cards. We'll do kind of a simple version of a simple pair of cards, and then one that's kind of stepped up. And I think I might have another few swap cards that we'll show you for the first time here today too. So we'll get started with that in a minute. First of all, I wanted to remind you that, well, I wanted to share my holiday catalog. I just got all my holiday pre-order in the mail yesterday, or UPS yesterday. I have a whole bunch of catalogs just waiting to hand out, and I'm planning on mailing those out early next week. If you are in need of a holiday catalog and you do not already have a relationship with another demonstrator, you are welcome to send me a message, or you can just comment, send me a message with your address. That way I have all of that. So just click on my name, send me a message, and I'll be happy to send one to you. If you are a current customer of mine, I will be sending those out. But I really like it when you request, because that way I know for sure that you want it, and I'm happy to send it out free to you. Anyway, it's an amazing catalog. I think you're really going to love it. I'm excited to start working on some Halloween projects. There's a really pretty fall set in there, and obviously there's so many cool holiday stamp sets, new tools, awesome new papers. You are going to love this whole catalog, I know. The other thing about this catalog is, if you have been thinking about the starter kit, the $99 starter kit promotion that's happening this month, it's called the Extra promotion, because you get 2 extra things with your starter kit. So for $99, you normally get $125 worth of product. You get an extra $30 to select this month only with your starter kit, and then you also get a $10 bonus coupon that you can use in September on one of your orders as a demonstrator. You'll already get your 20% off, because that will be part of being a demonstrator, plus you'll get your $10 bonus. So extra awesome deals with the starter kit. But the thing that you might not realize is you can actually pre-order from the holiday catalog with your starter kit. So when you're selecting that $155 in orders, you can select right from this catalog. So, and the way that you see it is you go in like you're purchasing a starter kit. I have a link to join my team, or it's either join my team or starter kit. I have two different links there on toocoolstamping.com. That'll take you where you need to go, and you can go to where you select the products, and there's actually a category that's called Holiday Catalog. Look, you just click on that and you'll be able to see all of the products that are in the catalog, and you can select them right now. So don't wait, start ordering from your wish list and start getting a head start on all of your seasonal products or projects. I really know you're going to love this catalog. So I wanted to make sure you knew about that little tip, because that will give you a head start for sure. Plus it'll help you save on that big holiday wish list as well. Okay, let's start working on some Dino Days projects. I'm going to flip the camera down, and I see several of you are joining us. Thank you so much for spending time with us today. Okay. Also, I would like to mention that my host code for the month, I have it written up here, VKYP, that's a Z, CQ6, and when you place a $75 order with me at toocoolstamping.com, clicking on the Shop Now link, then you'll get a pack of the designer elements. These are really cool metal, kind of heavy designer elements, perfect for masculine cards, just really pretty accents to add. So don't forget to use your host code when you shop with me. All right, so the Dinoroar suite, you can find that on your catalog, page 98 and 99, and it has a lot of different samples here. Did you know, I think a lot of people don't even realize, but they have this new thing this year in the catalog that you can order a whole suite of products just in one item number. So if you like all of the products in this suite, you can just type in 152194 and you'll get all of the products. So that's just a really easy way to get everything that you love. And then the next page has a close-up of all of the designer series paper, and also you see the Dino Days stamp set. Now the thing I love about the catalog that you should know about is if there's a framelit set that goes with the stamp set, you'll be able to see it because there's kind of a white outline around each piece. And so you'll be able to see that in the catalog. Everything is also actual size too, so that's really helpful. But I wanted to point out specifically for this stamp set, you'll notice, and I'll show it to you as we get to that project. This is going to be our second project. But the framelit actually goes beyond that, the plates that go on the top of the dinosaur. And that's so that you can cut that out, the die cut will cut out, and then you can tuck it behind it, and you could adhere it right there on that little white lip of that die cut. So it's really easy to put those two pieces together. So I'll show you as we get to a project that we're going to use that on, but I wanted to point that out that you can see that in the catalog. Okay. So part of the suite, obviously, is the beautiful Dino Days. Not really beautiful, more like adorable. Super cute. All the different dinosaurs here. You can see the plates that you can put on the back and really cute sayings. I'm thinking that this is not only a fun card to give to your friends, it's a really awesome card for kids. And I can see this being a really cute Valentine's set with add some hearts and really make it kind of fun for kids for Valentine's. And then it also has the Dino Days framelits like I was showing you in the catalog, and so you can cut out all of these different dinosaurs very easily. There's some different textures, and you'll see that on some of the cards that we are going to see today. And also the really cool part is how it coordinates with the Dinoroar paper. So you'll have matching paper. It has some really pretty, fun, cheerful colors that we're working with. It's the 12 by 12 sheets, and you have double-sided patterns. So here are, put these on here, here are the 6 patterns, and then you can flip that over and see there's lots of different patterns on the back that are coordinating. So the thing I think is really cool is this particular sheet, because this one works with the framelits. So your framelits are going to go right over these pre-printed dinosaurs, and you have them in all of the different varieties. So you have this one, you have this. I used to know all the names of these dinosaurs. Does anyone know? Brontosaurus, Stegosaurus. I don't know all of them anymore, but I used to. And there's even a pterodactyl. I do know that one because I think pterodactyls are so cute. So all of these can be cut out with the framelit, so you'll have something that's already pre-printed and ready to go. It makes it really super easy to put your project together. If you were going to have some kids get together and make some Valentines, you could die cut all of those. And just with one sheet, I wanted to show you. Obviously you'll have some pieces that you can't use because they'll just be partials. Although you could use partials like sticking up, like peeking in something or on the inside of your card. You could just have a little partial head or something so it was peeking. So you could still use little partial pieces, but look at all of the different dinosaurs that you get just from one sheet. I think I counted 25 or 26 different dinosaurs, and they're not all the same color. So you might have the same shape, but they're all different colors. So they're gonna be great for a lot of different projects. So I thought that was super fun. They've been doing this on several things now with the designer series paper coordinating, but I especially thought it was cute with this particular suite. Okay, let's start by doing a really simple project. Get these off to the side. And the color combinations are really awesome for this one. They actually have Flirty Flamingo, which I was a little surprised about, but it really works well. So I'm using this as a card base, and it's just the traditional 5.5 by 8.5, scored at the halfway point. I'm going to take one little strip of the designer series paper, the Dinoroar paper, and we're going to adhere that down the side. This is 1 1/4 by 5.5. I love that it either has dinosaurs on one side or kind of a background pattern that you can use. I still didn't get that quite on there. All right, it's just a little bit, I guess it'll work. Okay, I thought I was gonna have to cut a little piece off, but I think it'll work. So there's our background, really simple. And I wanted to show you super simple, that way you could use these ideas with kids. So then I'm going to stamp one of the dinosaurs. Maybe someone can tell me which one this is. Is this a Brontosaurus? I'm not sure. It's this one right here, the tall one. And I'm going to stamp that on a piece of scrap of the Whisper White. And I'm going to use Pool Party ink. And you notice I put a piercing mat underneath. This is the photopolymer stamp, so you'll definitely want to have something a little bit with a give underneath it, and the piercing mat works perfectly. Next, we're going to add a little bit of texture to that dinosaur. They have these cute little dots and just little texture patterns that you can add to make it look like their skin is ripply or scaly or whatever. And I'm going to just stamp those with some lovely lipstick. And then I'm going to save us a little bit of time. I've already die cut that with the Dinoroar dies. And I'm just going to mount that on a piece of, I think it's 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. Before I do that, I want to stamp a little sentiment. And I'm going to use the Pretty Peacock. Isn't this fun? Who would have thought Flirty Flamingo, Pretty Peacock, lovely lipstick, all that goes together. Thanks for being a Friendosaurus. Aww. I love that font. So fun. And We're gonna mat that on a piece of lovely lipstick. Actually, this is, I think it's 2.5 by 3.5. And then it's gonna be mounted on the 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. So we'll put that together. And then I want to give it a little bit of texture. I'm going to add some, what is this called? It's the Old Olive Pretty Peacock Reversible Satin Ribbon. This is beautiful, guys. This has, can you see that two-tone? This is the Peacock, and then you have the Old Olive, and it has such a beautiful shimmer to it. It may not pick up very well with the camera, but it's really, really pretty. I loved this ribbon with this set, with this suite, because there's Old Olive in the paper, there's Pretty Peacock in the paper, and it works perfectly with that. Now, this is not the ribbon that comes with the suite, however, and we're going to use that in a minute, but this is the ribbon that comes with the suite, which is also really pretty and casual. It's a denim ribbon. It's really thin. It's not bulky at all. I know Stampin' Up! Has had some denim ribbon in the past that was kind of bulky, but this is super thin and it's really easy to tie. So we're going to use that on another card in a minute, but I wanted to just show you that this really pretty shimmery satin reversible ribbon is also works really nicely with this suite. So we're just going to do a little faux bow, a double knot around this little element, and we'll trim that into a little bow shape. And I'm going to move that over to the edge so we have plenty of room for our dinosaur, and then he's just going to pop right up there over the top. So I'm going to use some mini dimensionals. Do you guys use these? I love the dimensionals, but these little minis are perfect for these little spaces. Otherwise, you'd have to cut them in half. Let's see what we need here. Put one up here and one down here on his foot. I love it when things are the perfect size. I can't hardly get that off today. Sometimes they get tricky. If you pop them, if you push in the center, they pop up a little bit on the side. Okay, we'll pop him on there. And, oh, he's so adorable. It's like they need names. They totally need names. Then we're going to pop that up with some regular dimensionals. And this will be done. I just want to do something totally simple. Kids could do this so easily. If you wanted to have the pre-cut dinosaurs, that would make it even more quick and easy for them. They just stamp the sentiment. You wouldn't necessarily have to do the dimensionals. If they were a little bit older, that's kind of fun, but you could just have them use snail adhesive. And we'll just put that on there and we're good to go. You could add some rhinestones if you wanted to, but this is just really nice and simple. And then I'm going to do another one that's also simple, but it's just a little bit different. So this one is going to be a vertically folded card. Starts with Pool Party. So by vertically folded, I mean that it's 4 1/4 by 11, and it's scored in the middle at the 5.5 mark. Then we're going to add another little strip. This is my Too Cool version, but I kind of changed it up. So I'm going to, instead of having the pattern paper, I created my own little patterned element, and this was using those little dies that have the triangles. So I just ran that through a die cutting machine several times to get that look. And I'm going to add that to the side. You could sponge on some liquid multi-purpose glue if you wanted to really have it adhered nicely, but I'm just going to dab on some snail. And we'll put that right along the side. And then this time we're going to use that denim ribbon. I'm going to put that around the bottom. Now remember, when you're tying a double knot, I like to make it into a plus sign. And then when I tighten it, when I go around this time and then tighten it, I take this loose tail and I pull that tight and then pull the other side tight. And that makes it have a nice pretty knot on the top. Takes a little practice, but it works out really well. So here is the background that we're doing. I'm going to put that down at the bottom. Now we're going to work on the focal point, and again, it's just going to be very simple. So this is going to be something that you could do with kids really easily. And I'm going to use a different dinosaur. I'm using this one this time. And we're just going to make it easy. We're not going to use the plates. Not going to put the spiny parts of his back. What are those called? Are they called plates? I can't remember now. And we're going to use pear pizzazz. And he's going to be dancing a little bit. Whee! He's having some fun. He's not quite straight. Actually, I think I kind of wanted him to be a little bit lighter. I think this ink pad's a little over inked, so it's a little bit darker. It should dry a little bit lighter than that. And then we're going to add a little sentiment. And this is in the Pretty Peacock. And this is my favorite sentiment from the whole stamp set. You're rarsome. I can't even say that. Rar. We're going to add this piece, and let's see. This one looks like, I don't have my, I think it's 2.5 by 2.5. 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. That's what I'm thinking. Yes, 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. And then this piece is 2 3/4 by, I don't remember. I'll have to have it in the details. And I didn't bring my little ruler over here. So we're just going to wing it. You can go to my my blog, toocoolstamping.com. I'll be blogging about these cards later today. So I'll have all the details with the measurements there. I don't know why I can't remember that one. We're adding that to just a piece of the Designer Series paper. I love the triangles here. I'm going to match the triangles along the side. And then we're just going to have this guy kind of dancing. He's dancing, the background's dancing, everything is fun on this one. So we'll pop this whole thing up with some dimensionals. Again. I like using this Designer Series paper as a mat. I don't do that very often, but it's kind of a fun way to showcase that paper. So I'm just going to have this kind of tilted. Everyone's dancing and having a good time. And there we go. Another cute card that you can do really easily with kids. If you are a demonstrator and you have stamp classes, this is a really quick and easy make and take for your classes. Just really fun ideas. So those are the first two cool cards. I have another pair of cards that we're going to do that are a little bit more complicated. We're stepping it up a little bit. And get some of my pieces out of here. So this one, we're going to start with a gatefold. Do you guys ever do a gatefold card? It's kind of a fun and easy card to create. Sometimes the measurements to get them to fold and meet up in the middle are a little bit tricky. I like to use my Simply Scored tool. And if you just, and we're using a traditional 8.5 by 5.5 piece, we're going to score it at the 1 1/8 and also 6 3/8. So that allows us to have it scored so it'll meet up nicely in the middle. Now when you're going to put your folds, when you're going to start folding together and making your crease, and remember you want to fold toward the mountain, toward the raised side, not the indented side. When you do this, rather than just folding it and creasing it, in order to make sure you have your pieces nice and flush together without a gap, you're going to put those together just how you would want them to lay first. So don't do any creasing yet, but put those together with those edges nice and flush. Make sure it's nice and flush at the top. Then go through with your bone folder and make the creases. That way you know that's how it's going to lay. So that's a quick tip on how to get that to look nice and flush there. We're going to add some designer series paper. So we're going to have some fun with some of the different patterns here. This piece is 5 1/4 by 2, I believe. Actually, it's 5 1/4 by 1 7/8. And then we'll use another coordinating piece on the other side, same measurement, 5 1/4 by 1 7/8. Okay, so this is our fun gatefold. Now we're going to decorate. We're going to start out with a die cut that I've already done with the Stitch Shapes dies. And we're going to, let's see, let me get my bucket closer. We're going to make a little palm tree on the background. We have these elements here to make a palm tree with some palm leaves there. So we'll start with some soft suede, and I'll ink that up, and I want that to be kind of lighter because I want this to be in the background. So I'm going to stamp off, and then I'm going to stamp on my circle. So there is my palm tree trunk, and then I'm going to add some palm leaves, and that's going to be with the Pear Pizzazz. Again, this was a little bit darker than I wanted, so I'm going to stamp off. So I'm going to do that several times so we have several branches coming out. Stamp off. Now you might want to put some scrap paper underneath so that you're not getting your piercing mat dirty. I'm just kind of being careful so that I don't go completely off the edge. If you do happen to get some ink on it, it washes up really nicely as long as it's not stays on ink. Any of the water-based ink is going to wash off really nicely. So here is our background, and then we're going to have our little dinosaur, of course. So we're going to stamp him also in Pear Pizzazz. I'm going to stamp him off too, just so that he's a little bit lighter. And then we want to use the plates this time. So I'm going to use the pretty Peacock and my little plates that go with it. So this is just stamped separately. And then we would go and die cut those. Now remember when I told you that, let me get my die cuts here. A couple quick tips with the die cuts. So these new die cuts from Stampin' Up, they're no longer the Sizzix brand. The Sizzix brand, when you line these up to cut through the Big Shot, you would have a little white line. It would almost look like this. Can you see that little white line outline? And that's how you would line it up. You would have the outline all the way around. These new dies are a little bit different because they had to make them differently because there was a patent, obviously, they couldn't infringe upon. So these dies, you actually line up the inside edge of your die with the edge, the actual edge of your image, and it really works better. It's really a lot easier to line those up. So as soon as you have that lined up exactly with the edge of your image, then you can run that through your die cutting machine. And when it comes out, it has the edge already on it. So it just means that the die edge is a little bit, it's not right on the edge of, right flush with the edge where you can see, but it does end up coming out with a really nice white border around it. Now, when you're putting your die cut on this one, as I mentioned before when we were looking at the catalog, you might be tempted to kind of line it up, and it's not lining up very well. It's because, again, you want to put the edge of those plates right along the inside edge of your die, and there's purposefully a white piece on the edge, and that is going to be that little edge that you can use a little bit of mono liquid adhesive on, or a little bit of snail, or whatever you want to use for your adhesive, and that way you can glue that on the back of your dinosaur. So you can pop the whole thing up, and that's just going to be able to attach nicely to the back. Isn't that clever? I love that they did that. If you would have had it in little tiny pieces, it would be a lot more difficult to put those together. So that comes together really nicely. So we're going to add that together. I'm just going to put a little bit of snail on the back to hold that in place. So cute. And then we'll have a couple of dimensionals for this one as well. Pop him up. And add him there. Oh, he's looking so cute. Now, I had mentioned that you could do cards like this for Valentine's. I know it's a little bit early for that, but it makes it a lot more versatile when you think about different ways that you can use it. So I actually made this a little more Valentine's-like. I used the Dog Builder Punch, and it has a little heart there. So I'm just gonna punch that out. We're gonna pop that up with a little dimensional, mini dimensional again. These mini dimensionals are coming in handy today. And we're gonna stick it in his hand like he's giving a little Valentine. Aw, how cute. Now, to attach it to our gatefold card, we wanna make sure we're only gonna attach it to the one side, remember? We don't wanna close it all up so they can't get in it. So to do that and make sure that I don't go over the edge, I usually line it up how I want it, and then I do a 180 flip, and then I know exactly where I can add my dimensionals. So about 3 on there should be good. Okay. Actually, did I get it? Might be a little close on the edge. I'm going to move that over. It moved just a tad bit when I was getting my dimensionals. Okay. Let's check it out. Very good. None are showing, so that worked out well. Then we're going to finish up by adding a little sentiment on the bottom. And I'm going to start with a little foundation. This is the Mango Melody. And it's 1 7/8 by 1 inch. I'm just going to create a little band at the bottom, a little band of color to help my sentiment pop. Again, this is a little bit more complicated of a project, so probably not one that you'd want to do with young kids for sure. All right, and then our sentiment, we have a 3 by, I think it's just maybe 5/8 inch. For that. Sorry, I don't have the measurements very good today. All right, I'm going to use my pretty Peacock, and I'm going to use a different sentiment. And this one is so funny. Kids will love this. Anybody will. It says, I love you this much. It's more than it looks, because he's got little short arms. I think that's funny. It's cute. All right, we're going to banner cut this. So we're going to go up the center on the side, and then go side to center, or corner to center. Should make a little banner. Easy peasy. And I want another little pop of color, so I'm going to add just a little 1/2 inch strip behind my sentiment. And we'll center that on there. All right, so for this one, I want this one to come to be adhered to the opposite side. So it kind of has an interlocking piece, an interlocking mechanism happening. So again, I'm going to take some dimensionals. I'm going to line this up where I want it. I'm going to flip it over 180. Add a couple of dimensionals on this side. And there you go. And it just opens and it has an interlocking piece. I love that, the way that flips open that way. Now, I also did the inside, and this is one I had done before. And see how you can just add a little guy peeking out there? That's so super easy to do. You just want to stamp your dinosaur. I'm going to stamp it over here so I don't get too much on my piercing pad. So he's just peeking. Hello. Whoops, I didn't do it very well. But what I wanted to show you was, it's always going to stamp better on the paper piercing mat. What I wanted to show you was how easy it was to line this up. You can add the plates directly on here. There's a little space right in the middle where his arm goes. So you just want to line that up. You can see through it because it's photopolymer, and that just, well, this one looks really good. This one doesn't look so good, but this one does. Anyway, it's so cute that he's just peeking in there, and then you can write some cute thing, or you can add the thanks for being a friendosaurus in there. Really, really cute. I did a Too Cool version, of course, and this time I used Lovely lipstick for the outside. I used a couple of different Designer Series paper strips. Background palm tree was the same. This time I used one of the pre-printed Designer Series papers and just die cut that out and pop that up, so that was super simple. The strip on the background is just a 1/2 inch strip, and I added some little footprints in Mango Melody onto the Mango Melody cardstock. I continued that strip of color all the way across, and then just added a little sentiment there on Pool Party paper with the pretty Peacock ink. So, and then here's the inside. It's another one of the little brontosaurus, I don't know what it is, stegosaurus. Somebody help me out here. Somebody who knows biology or whatever. Anyway, I liked that one because that kind of matches the paper here. It has the same dinosaur, so it all coordinates. Anyway, those are our gatefold cards, something a little bit fun and fancy and just a little bit too cool, I think. So let me know what you think about those. And then before we go, I wanted to share a couple other swap cards. Again, you can see a couple swap cards that I've been blogging about over the past 2 days at toocoolstamping.com. You can also go to my Too Cool Stamping VIP group. You do have to join that, but if you just have a request to join, I'll be happy to approve you. And then we have some additional swap card ideas there, and that's exclusive to the VIP group. I wanted to show you a couple more swaps that I thought were really fun. This one is by Janice Irk, and she has a lot of really pretty layers. She used the stitched nested labels dies to stamp that background with the plates, and then she stamped the other dinosaur over the top and die cut that. She created this mat with the same shape, the same size of the stitched nested label. She just cut that in half and then moved each of the halves down or up to create that little matted layer. I like how she has the sentiment popped up in a little circle. She used the faceted gems that match that because they're in the in color, so that matches the pretty peacock color. The background paper, super cute. It's actually over this texture. Can you see this awesome texture? This is a piece of paper that's stamped with the birch background stamp, and then it is corrugated with the corrugated embossing folder. You can see there, it looks like corrugated cardboard. It's really cool. So it has that for the background, then a little bit of the Dinoroar paper, and then she wrapped a little bit of the in color scalloped linen ribbon. So, so cute. I love all the layers and the textures. How fun for this card. Love it, love it, love it. And then another, speaking of layers and textures, this one is from Jean Cooker, and I love this one as well. Remember last week we had a front flap card? So this week she has this really cute, it's like a half of the card is a flap, but this time instead of having a separate piece that we attached to it, she actually just cut, it was a vertically folded card, and she cut out half, a quarter basically of that sheet, so that half of the card front would be missing, and then created this really cool focal point. So I love that it kind of has the same look when it's done as the gatefold card because of all of the different designer series papers on the inside and the outside. But then she used the stitched rectangles shapes for die cutting the background here as a nice card, as a nice little foundation. She used that really pretty denim ribbon. And then this egg shape, which matches the background. See how it has all these little eggs? It actually is a die cut part of the Dino Dies. So you can just cut this egg out. She used some of the different dots and shading on there to make it look textured. She even colored in some of the dots. That's so cute. Obviously we saw how you put that dinosaur together. And then when she cut, or when she stamped her "Look Who's Hatched" sentiment, she actually hand cut around there, but I think it looks so, so cute. Also, some of our palm leaves, you can just use them as some foliage coming out from behind the egg, and there's a die for that as well. So there's enough dies for all the different parts and pieces in this stamp set. I absolutely adore this one. I thought it was so, so cute. So thank you, Jean, for that awesome swap card. All right, everybody, we're going to wrap it up. If you want to purchase anything from the Dinoroar suite, go to toocoolstamping.com. I'm going to give you, let's give you a couple of these numbers here. So the Dino Days 149406, and our Dino, you can actually get the bundle. I don't have that number right here. I'm trying to figure out what I just did with my list. Sometimes you can't find things when it gets a mess. Have you ever had that happen? Anyway, I'll have all of the numbers. They'll be listed underneath or in the video description later. But the Dino Dies, if you want to get those separately, is 149636. But again, there is a bundle that you can get these together and you're going to save 10%. So look for that. You can go to toocoolstamping.com, shop now button, and look for the Dinoroar suite, and you'll see all of those products that you can purchase from me. Again, don't forget, if you place a $75 order with me in August, be sure to use my host code. If you forget it, it is on my toocoolstamping.com website, and you can find it there and place your order through there. All right, everybody, I hope you've really enjoyed all of the fun little projects that we've done with the Dino Days and the Dinoroar products. I've had a lot of fun doing it, and I know that if you have any kids, they would love it, love it, love it too. So thanks so much for spending some time with me creating, and I will see you next week on our Too Cool Stamping live class. This is Angie with Too Cool Stamping. Bye-bye.